Here are the most recent deaths in the national news, as reported at Legacy.com in the second week of May 2025. Legacy.com is where you can find any obituary or publish an obituary in any local community in America and beyond. Baseball player Chet died May 8, 2025 in Apopka, Florida. He died after a series of health issues at the age of 70. He was an all-star center fielder with the Detroit Tigers, helping the team to victory at the 1984 World Series. Lemon is also being remembered for his years with the Chicago White Sox and for his later career coaching youth baseball. Actress Denise Alexander died March 5, 2025 at the age of 85. Her death was announced this week. She was nominated for a Daytime Emmy Award for her longtime starring role on General Hospital as Leslie Weber. Alexander is also being remembered for her roles on other soap operas, including Days of Our Lives and Another World. Singer Johnny Rodriguez died May 9, 2025 in San Antonio, Texas at the age of 73. He had country music hits in the 1970s and 80s, reaching #1 with songs like Ridin' My Thumb to Mexico and I Just Can't Get Her Out of My Mind. Rodriguez is being remembered as the first Latino artist to top the country music charts. Professional wrestler Terry Brunk has died at the age of 60 or 61, according to various sources. Further details were not available as of this recording. He was better known as Sabu when he wrestled with Extreme Championship Wrestling, World Championship Wrestling, and the WWE. Brunk is being remembered as a pioneer of hardcore wrestling, one of the first to introduce props like chairs and barbed wire into his act. A note to remember, sometimes personal information, such as someone's cause of death, is not announced immediately by their family or the authorities. When a cause of death has not been officially confirmed, we do not report on rumors. Every family has a right to their privacy. Former Supreme Court Justice David Souter died May 8, 2025 at his home in Hopkinton, New Hampshire at the age of 85. He served on the Supreme Court from 1990 until his retirement in 2009, hearing notable cases on such topics as reproductive rights and prayer in schools. Souter is being remembered as a moderate judge, known among his colleagues for his wisdom and kindness. Singer John Edwards died May 11, 2025 at the age of 80 after a period of declining health following a stroke. He was the lead singer for the Spinners from the 1970s through the 2000s, singing on hits like Working My Way Back to You and Cupid. He is being remembered for carrying on the band's legacy after the departure of singer Philippe Wynne. Edwards was a U.S. Army veteran who served in Germany. Holocaust survivor Margot Friedländer died May 9, 2025 at a hospital in Berlin at the age of 103. After living in hiding for months, she was captured and sent to Theresienstadt concentration camp. She survived and later emigrated to America. Friedländer is being remembered for sharing her experiences many years later, writing the memoir Try to Make Your Life and speaking to school children. Filmmaker James Foley died May 6, 2025 at his home in Los Angeles. He died of brain cancer at the age of 71. He directed such movies as Glengarry Glen Ross, At Close Range, and After Dark My Sweet. Foley is being remembered for his work with Madonna. He directed the feature film Who's That Girl, as well as videos for such hits as True Blue and Papa Don't Preach. Makeup artist Greg Cannom died in May 2025 at the age of 73. He won Academy Awards for his makeup for Bram Stoker's Dracula, Mrs. Doubtfire, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, and Vice. Cannom is being remembered for his horror makeup for such movies as The Lost Boys and The Howling, and for music videos like Michael Jackson's Thriller and Ozzy Osbourne's Bark at the Moon. Filmmaker Robert Benton died May 11, 2025 at his home in New York City. He died of natural causes at the age of 92. He won Academy Awards as the writer and director of Kramer vs. Kramer and Places in the Heart, and he also directed such movies as The Late Show, Still of the Night, and Nobody's Fool. He is also being remembered for co-writing Bonnie and Clyde, a groundbreaking film that ushered in the New Hollywood era. Benton was a U.S. Army veteran. Comic book artist Jackson Butch Guice died May 1, 2025 in Cincinnati at the age of 63. He worked on Marvel Comics titles like Doctor Strange and Iron Man, as well as Superman, Birds of Prey, and other DC comics. Guice is being remembered for his detailed artwork in decades of comics. Actor Joe Don Baker died May 7, 2025 at the age of 89. He starred in the 1970s hit Walking Tall and had memorable roles in Cape Fear, Fletch, The Natural, and many other movies. He is being remembered for portraying two different characters in 3 James Bond movies, The Living Daylights, GoldenEye, and Tomorrow Never Dies. Baker was a U.S. Army veteran who served for 2 years. Here at Legacy, we also get to see all the incredible tribute stories published every day in memory of people you've never heard of before, but whose lives are so worth remembering. This week, those people include a beloved husband and father whose pioneering work in X-ray and neutron beams earned him numerous honors as an experimental physicist, a decorated Marine Corps veteran of the Vietnam War, known in later life as DJ Sweetback for his dedication to spreading the joy of music, a grandmother who was already in her 70s when she started a successful Etsy business selling Christmas stockings, and a high school history teacher and football coach who ended his 60-year career as the second winningest coach in Iowa high school football history. At Legacy.com, any family can publish an obituary in honor of a loved one's memory, online and in local newspapers everywhere. Just visit Legacy.com and select your local community. This month in the United States is Memorial Day. In honor of America's veterans, we at Legacy salute our charity partner, the Doughboy Foundation, dedicated to honoring the memory of those who served in World War I. Every day without fail, a bugle honors those brave Americans by playing taps at the National World War I Memorial in Washington, D.C. You can personally dedicate that bugle call in the name of a veteran you love by visiting doughboy.org. That's DOUGHBOY.org. Also, any of our viewers can help support the Doughboy Foundation with a charitable donation of any size. Just visit doughboy.org to donate. Every week in the United States, flags are lowered to half-staff to honor the lives of Americans whose communities are mourning their loss. Here are the most recent half-staff memorial flag honors. Flags across the United States have been lowered in honor of Peace Officers Memorial Day. Flags in New Hampshire have been lowered to honor the memory of former United States Supreme Court Associate Justice David Souter. Flags in Wisconsin have been lowered in honor of Hmong Lao Veterans Day. Flags in Louisiana have been lowered to honor the memory of Lieutenant Alan Nucci Crater, who died in the line of duty. Flags in Missouri have been lowered to honor the memory of former U.S. Senator and Missouri Governor Christopher S. Kit Bond. In addition to featuring current deaths in the news, Legacy.com also honors the lives and legacies of notable people who died in the past. Here are some of this week's anniversaries. 5 years ago this week, actor and comedian Fred Willard died at the age of 86. He was hilarious in movies and TV shows like Best in Show, Anchorman, and Fernwood Tonight. 35 years ago this week, singer, actor, dancer, and comedian Sammy Davis Jr. died at the age of 64. He was known as Mr. Show Business for his long and prolific career in entertainment, with highlights like his hit song The Candyman. 40 years ago this week, actress Margaret Hamilton died at the age of 82. She went down in history as one of the all-time great movie villains when she played the Wicked Witch of the West in The Wizard of Oz. You can read more about the lives of the people featured in this video on Legacy.com. Follow Legacy.com on Instagram and Facebook, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube to stay up to date on national news deaths.